The expert who is joining us today in this course on Office 2000 is Gabriel Pastor from the Microsoft company. Hello Gabriel, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Nice to be with you.
Gabriel, before we begin, explain to us what your functions are within Microsoft.
Well, within Microsoft I am the coordinator of the Office 2000 project and I am in charge of adapting the product to the Spanish market.
Well, I see that you are the ideal person to talk to us about this topic, since you really know this product in depth. If you agree, let's start to see it.
Okay.
In this first chapter we will talk about the ease of installing Office 2000. We will see how we can have an assistant that will help us with the installation and how we can carry out an installation on demand. Gabriel, I imagine that the first thing we are going to do is precisely install the product, right?
Yes, it is a previous and necessary step to have all the functionality of Office 2000.
Well, if you agree, let's start to see it.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to see is how to install it. Office 2000 incorporates Auto Start, that is, it would suffice to insert the CD in the corresponding drive of the computer and it would auto start. In this case we are going to do it manually, selecting the CD-ROM drive, double-clicking on the drive and the installation wizard starts. It is a very simple wizard, that is to say that we are not going to have any complications. The only thing is to answer a series of questions that it is going to ask us.
I imagine those questions are in order for the program itself to be configured correctly, isn't it?
Exactly.
In this chapter we will talk about self-support. Tell us a bit, Gabriel, what exactly this means.
Self-maintenance is a new feature of Office, which is that it's smart enough to know when you need something and grab it or when something is broken and fix it automatically. We can see some examples of this functionality. All programs contain an executable file. If I were to click here right now in Word, a program called Word.x would be executed. It is an executable program. What would happen if I accidentally deleted that program? Well, in old versions of Office it would be a problem because when trying, that is, when I clicked with the mouse, it would tell me the file does not exist and I would have to reinstall it manually. However, in this way we are going to do it so that we can see it. In this way we will not have that problem. If I access where this file is, in Program Files, Show Files in Microsoft Office. Show Files in Microsoft Office.
We would be. Now what we are doing is looking for exactly the file.
The file that we want to fail us. Here we have Excel, this very one. This is the Excel executable file, so we eliminate it with any other version of another program. If we now try to run Microsoft Excel, which is by clicking on the corresponding icon, it would give an error. It would say this application is not found and we could not run it. Well, the self-repair note that if I now click on Microsoft Excel, it automatically detects that there has been an error and is capable of self-repairing it. Well, notice that it is loading that damaged information.
Very good.
In this case we have deleted the file, but it could also be that the file was corrupt, that is, it had some error. Well, that has been recovered and we have entered Excel as if nothing had happened.
So that is exactly self-repair.
That is self-healing.
Detect the fault and repair it. Exactly.
Muy bien.
Very good. In this same way, I imagine it would apply to other types of issues that may arise within normal work, right?
Sí, cualquier.
Yes. Any application is self-repairing or any file that is necessary. Not only the executable as we have seen in this example, but any other necessary data. Or if a custom installation has been done and one of the options has not been installed and we click on a function that needs it, it will also automatically install it with a window like the one we saw on the screen a few moments ago.
Very good, very interesting, because if you think we will see more things in the next chapter.
Okay.
In this chapter we will talk about the greater ease of use that has been achieved in this new version of Office. Gabriel, tell us a little about exactly what we are going to see.
Well, as you have said, we are going to see the new capacities or new functionalities that Office 2000 incorporates to make it easier for an average user. Let's call it that. So Microsoft has developed some new properties for this Office that it considers really useful and that will greatly facilitate the life.
Yes,
Within these new capacities we are going to comment on them quickly. Some new dialog boxes, web folders, customizable menus, but I think that it is best that we go through examples to facilitate the task.
Let's see it.
So, well, the Programs menu. The only thing that changes compared to previous versions are the icons, which we can see here, but it is easy to understand what each of them corresponds to.
Very good.
The new dialog boxes. Well, if we look closely, the dialog boxes, and well, in this case they are menus, but they don't change much either. The only thing that they incorporate is we have seen in the installation. New messages or new colors.
etcétera. ¿Vale?
So,
This have shortcuts to folders. What exactly?
well, this is that we can treat the folders directly to put the files. That is, I can save a file directly on a folder that is both on the desktop and in another place that I have previously defined, without having to make network connections or other types of connections that could be complicated for a normal user. And one very important thing or novelty that Office 2000 has incorporated, which is web integration, or what we could call in another way, integration with the Internet. Internet is today the engine of communications and is what has been called web folders.
And show us a web folder so we can see a little what it consists of.
A web folder is going to be a folder just like the one here, but the difference with this one is that this one is on my computer, it's local. While a web folder is going to be on a remote computer, which if I am connected to the Internet can be both in Barcelona and in Singapore. But I treat it as if it were a local folder. The only thing I have to do is go here in my network sites. Here the folders that I have declared on my network would appear, and with a simple mouse click I can connect to any computer and save a document there as if I really had that disk available on my computer. That makes life much easier for companies that have to communicate information. I can keep that folder or use servers. Many people share the same server in a very easy way, not like I said before, because you would have to make some connections, network, etc., all integrated into what has come to be called the style of web work.
Very good.